about those questions is actually in the end a kind of racial division of the world, where it's racial difference that legitimises the idea that we need a black environmental organisation, that kind of thing, but not an integration of environmental issues with anti-racist issues, which is something slightly different. I think is a matter of going back to trying to create some kind of wider perspective for understanding what is going on with the kind of environmental damage that is being wreaked on poorer countries, and trying to understand that as a form of imperialism, actually. But that's a kind of quite a large theoretical project and quite a leap for most people. Clearly, what will happen is that the kind of existing techniques and mechanisms that European governments have to try and police migration will be intensified massively. And I mean, it's already a kind of military model. You have the Royal Navy and the Royal Air Force involved in policing immigration already by kind of patrolling sea routes that are considered to be routes for people to cross into Europe. Now, you can imagine a scenario where preventing people from entering Europe from outside becomes almost the primary role of the military in Europe.
Achieved by the advanced full hybrid system which switches seamlessly between electric and petrol power, giving a car that combines greater responsibility to the environment with effortless performance. www.lexus.co.
What actually did happen when knowledge, industry and light exterminated the inferior races? Darwin knew. He had seen General Rosa's men butchering Indians smothered in blood and vomit. He knew how eyes were gouged, and when an Indian had sunk his teeth into a thumb and refused to let go, how women were killed.
Slightly more, I don't know, more extreme than some of the issues that are being discussed at the moment, that really things can get a lot worse than they are at the moment, and you can lose your land and your homes, and it goes a lot further than I think people imagine. If you look at a lot of our sort of the Indigenous leaders who have been arrested lately, they're being arrested for campaigning or raising awareness of
Okay, everybody, I'm going to just talk for 10 minutes if anybody's interested to hear about climate change and global inequality. In actual fact, things have been happening for a long time already. If we look at many countries in the third world, if we look at examples like the Niger Delta, Bhopal, Bangladesh, so many areas where changes in climate have had terrible consequences already.
Big challenge to our country. People, they use charcoal. And the charcoal, you need to cut the tree to get the charcoal. Let's have a collective effort to try to solve this, because if the environment is changing that much, there's no boundary in this. Yeah, so we have to work together. Yeah.
Well, that's really interesting to hear those things, but what do you think has caused that, the change in Tanzania?
It's estimated to be about 80% of Tanzanian.
The round nose, the look, the big, fat Indian face. No bone shape at all.
The flagship of India's miraculous growth story has run aground. It came at a huge social and environmental cost.
Stuff flung off from the sun. The molten core still pouring sometimes black rivers of black basalt.
Let's go
across
to the plastic surgeon. If two of us go, maybe we can get a discount. Buy one, get one free.
They condemn Chile continuously at the UN Human Rights Council about the using of this anti-terrorist law against it.
Any additional, from food to
my memory also serves me in relation to subsistence.
And that is from complete overfishing and that
polluting the areas that they always are. The pollution, there are more pollution in the world today. If you think of these big, massive liners,
that's just like that. You're actually involved in a kind of racial game. People who experience colonialism have always seen that environmental issue as integral to it. And you know, the sort of stories that people tell, you know, that would involve some kind of way to legitimise what is basically a war on poor people. And I suspect the kind of